Here we go with day three of 30 teams in 30 days, NBA edition. Let's get into it. And there is still sound on this. So who is it? Ooh, both these are interesting. We're going to the Celtics. All right. This is a big time one. This is definitely going to have, I feel like I'm going to have a lot to talk about. The Celtics won the championship last season, and they are on pace to do it again this year. And I say on pace because I do think that they'll probably be okay against teams like the Cavs and the Knicks and even all the Western Conference teams. I think they'll be fine, and I think they should still be the favorite to come out of the West out of the East, or to come out of the Eastern Conference. If you missed my Cavs video, obviously they're seated higher right now than the Celtics. But if you missed that video, that was back in day one. Go check that one out if you haven't. But yeah, Celtics I do think should are the favorite to come out of the East, regardless of the fact that they're the two seed. I think they should be the favorite to come out of the East. I think they should be the favorite to win the Eastern Conference and win the championship. Um, and a lot of people would probably argue that once they get to the championship, will it be the Thunder? Will it be the Nuggets? Will it be the Grizzlies? All of the teams that a lot of people think match up well with the Celtics? But talent for talent, the Celtics have the best starting five. They have the best bench. They have the best everything, basically, that you can hope for in a team competing for a championship in back to back seasons. The Celtics are only 5.5 games back of the Cavs, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I think just the way the Cavs have been playing, I don't think that they're really going to lose that. We're 54 games into the year, and the Cavs, I mean, everyone has like 30 or so games, maybe less games left on the year. And so I think if the Cavs are playing it the way that they have been, I don't think the Celtics are going to catch them. Yeah, so that's where I'll start. I'll start with the Celtics are they're the two seed. I think they're going to end up staying the two seed, but that doesn't mean that I think they should be the favorite coming out of the Eastern Conference. And coming up to the deadline, there wasn't much that people thought that the Celtics needed to do. Obviously, they're still probably the most well-rounded team in all of basketball, and they have as much talent as any team that we've seen in a long time, um, one through probably nine. Um, so the only move that they made was just trading Jaden Springer away and I think a pick swap or something like that. That's all they did. They got rid of Jaden Springer, which okay, like that's not gonna move the needle. And that mainly shows that the Celtics are very, very confident in the way that they will be competing the rest of the way. And assuming they stay healthy, which I don't think they'll have an issue with, they have had Jalen Brown with like minor injuries, but they haven't really had anything too significant. Um, the Celtics are a team that should be confident in themselves to go all the way. I think that again, like assuming they stay healthy, they're gonna be probably considered the best team in the West or in the. Oh my gosh, I keep doing that. Best team in the East. They're probably considered to be the best team in the East regardless of record. So I'm like looking at this payroll and I'm thinking, whoa, like this team is gonna be good for at least 5 years, 4 years, something like that. Like they have all their guys locked up. They have Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, even. Which Peyton Pritchard's not like the biggest piece in the world, but um, Porzingis is kind of the one guy that I would probably expect them to end up moving on from, whether it's something that they want to do or whether they have to do. I don't know. I, I also, how do they afford everybody? that's that's a lot of money. Look at that, dude. Okay, if you look at Jason Tatum's contract into 2029, I had no clue that he is going to end up making $71 million. That is so much money. I didn't realize we were getting into that range. Oh my goodness. Okay, that just blew my mind. Um, I just caught my eye as I was talking, but yeah, the Celtics are gonna be they're gonna be good. This is a Celtics team that could really become a dynasty. I would go as far as to say that this Celtics team easily has the best chance to become a true dynasty, obviously since the Warriors, but this team is has a chance to run the 2020s. They have a chance to make a huge run into the 2020s simply because they've locked everybody up. And obviously Drew Holiday is getting older, so maybe that contract will end up being bad in a few years, but he's still going to be very, very good. And they're a big market team, so they're going to attract guys. Like, they're going to attract guys in free agency, they're going to attract guys in trades. Like, they're going to get basically whoever they want. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm looking back at this payroll, and I'm wondering if the Celtics are going to have to break up the team because it's too expensive. Just a thought I had. I wonder because, like, Al Horford, if I actually don't have it pulled up right now, but Al Horford was making something like $13 million. That's a lot of money. And not that Al Horford would be the end of the world to get rid of, but if they start losing little pieces like that and all of a sudden end up with just a starting five, it's not as good as what they would have. Not saying they're going to be horrible because, oh no, they're going to lose Al Horford. Like, that's not the end of the world. I want you to understand that, but um, it's just kind of an interesting. I just kind of had a thought, and I was like, dang, like, Celtics might have to break up their core simply because it's too expensive for the NBA. Like, all the apron rules are making it so much harder to build teams like the Celtics have, and they kind of built their team before the second apron came into play. Which, I'm going to be honest, I don't really understand all those rules. I just know if you're too expensive, you need to cut money, and then there's trade things that can happen. That's basically it. So I'm not an expert about the whole contract stuff. I just know they're very expensive, and I know the second apron is causing trouble to my team, the Nuggets. Um, and so I feel like it probably is going to end up causing trouble to them. So that's just a thought I had. I don't think it'll completely alter the way that the Celtics, turn into this terrible team all of a sudden. No, that's not going to happen. And I'm also not changing my prediction that the Celtics are going to be really, really good for the next at least 5 years. Um, but just a thought to chew on. And I wonder what Celtics owners and people in the office are thinking, just knowing in the back of their mind that they're going to become a really, really expensive team. So I don't know. Just keep an eye out on that. And I guess for this season specifically, that's probably what they're thinking of. They're probably thinking about trying to win a championship this season. They're probably thinking about next season winning a championship. And after that is just kind of like it's down the road. We're not there yet. We never know what can happen, whether it's injuries, whether it's morale going down. They lose coach. Like, a lot of things can happen in the next 2 years. So I don't think they're too focused on that, especially with how good they are right now. So I actually think that might be all I have to talk about with this team. They're really good. It's hard to talk about the teams that are really good and have been really good, and everyone knows they're really good. Same thing with talking about the really bad teams. At least with the really bad teams, you can, like, try to figure out solutions. But the Celtics have a solution. The Celtics are sitting in their solution that they've had ever since the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce uh, glory days, when they traded them to the Nets shockingly, and the Nets went all in, and all that stuff happened, and they turned it in around and around into this great hopefully dynasty that they have now, and guys like Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. So we'll see how it goes with the Celtics. I think they're going to be really good for a long time. They're, in my eyes, they're probably going to be my favorite to come out of the East and probably win. I would probably take them over OKC as well. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Celtics. Celtics fans, cook me with whatever you have to cook me with. I don't really care. But yeah, if you're new, this is day 3 for our 30 days, 30 teams in 30 days. So I'd love if you would subscribe, like, yeah, but that's all I got. Peace.